Morning all, it's Simon Holden here, the Sheriff of Tippingham, for Judge's Jewels, your Monday look back at horses to follow. But I think, Judge, we must start with, we're not big-headed people, but any of you who watched the Ledger preview on Saturday night or Sunday morning, I think the old thumbs up must come our way, likes and shares, because, we got the winner. I mean, I'm too modest to say which one of us. All right, it was me. 13-2 into, but was it 9-2 SP?
I think it was, mate. Yeah, it was 5-2. It's around that price. It's well backed, yeah.
Elder, yeah, whatever. Anyway, it won. Yeah, Roger Varian as a classic winner on his hands. So yeah, that was great. So thank you for all the nice emails to the office. But we've just been chatting before we recorded, and we really think we could have had the old 1-2. Because Judge's bet, Giavaletto, was a third, but only because one got chucked out for nearly knocking you over the rails.
Yes.
Yeah, so great call there, mate. Everybody got paid out, of course, because double result means you got your whatever. But we nearly had the old forecast in the Ledger.
Oh. Yes, that would have been nice, mate, wouldn't it? Don't even talk about it. But there we go. It's still brilliant. Great.
Yeah, great picks.
And winning a third in both winning bets in a race like that. Brilliant.
I mean, some of my rum club pals, I use the word pal loosely, they were convinced that we were mad taking on that jolly. So
just shows, doesn't it? It's just going up. When you haven't got all the ticks in the right boxes, you can't take 11 to 10, can you?
No, it was rank value. And what was interesting was that the market corrected itself, even in a classic. If you watch the last 5-10 minutes betting, I had the exchanges up, I had odds checker up, I had the TV obviously, which was showing the Sky, was constantly showing the betting, and you could see the move for the Varian horse.
Yeah. And
you'd also see the huge lumps in the leg column for the favourite.
Yeah. It was definitely. I mean, that was a big drift. And, there's quite a few backs because, Giavaletto went out to a massive price at once. I think because it was sweating that it drifted. And then it wasn't come all the way back in.
Yeah. So that's it. The market will often find, because it doesn't mean what's going to happen. They could often think it's still a one. But it's the value and the true prices. So at 13-2,
exactly. Yeah.
I couldn't see it out of the frame. And I thought he had a massive chance of winning. I made that very, very clear. And I gave at least 4 or 5 reasons why. And what was interesting was both of us were sweet on our selections. Obviously, we're only going to talk about this for about 10 hours, so don't worry. Both of us were sweet on our selections, and we did say they were the only 2 proven stayers.
Yeah.
The filly you were taking on trust, the fave you were taking on trust. Some of the others I didn't think would get it in a minibus, and they didn't.
She wants a lot further. The Aidan O'Brien. She definitely stays, but she's just very slow, isn't she?
I think she logically is their new cup horse, do you? Because she's going to get 2 mile plus next year.
She's got a win in her over further, definitely. She just kept. Yeah. She was staying on well, but
she was plugging on. Yeah. What impressed me about the winner was he showed quite a nice turn of foot once he got him going, Egan. Whether they'll go up in trip or because the big money races are still at 1.5 miles, aren't they? And on heavy ground, I think 1.5 miles, he's going to be rolling in that last furlong. He might well go to Ascot.
They obviously must, like you said in your preview, and obviously that Grand Prix de Paris form worked out well over the weekend, didn't it? With the 3 horses running from that. One comes second in the Irish Champion. One won I think it's the Prix Foy or Prix Niel. And then the other one. So that was a good line if you looked into that. And we did mention that. So...
we're very, very clear that the statement of intent from Varian was that race is the French key mid-season middle distance race for the horses that are believed to be art contenders. So to be beaten 4 lengths or 5 lengths, what it was,
was a slowly run race as well.
In a slowly run race, yeah. So I mean, oh wow. Anyway, well done.
I'll tell you what, Sarge, you could do well in the King George next year if it's a proper test of stamina.
Yeah, definitely.
George,
or the Triumpherdal, one of the 2. Yeah. Now I gave Trillium, which was a bit difficult because of course one of our owners is also the co-owner of Platinum Queen, isn't he? So there's a little bit of.
You got the dead heat, didn't you?
Yeah, nearly got the dead heat, which would have pleased everybody, I think. But I'll come to that race very, very soon. Now, so HFC, your last two club bets, all three have been an 8-1 winner. And yesterday, Trillium chucked in the ledger winner as well. Now, I've got a Newmarket Max bet. I won't go through it here, but if you read the top, you will see exactly how you can get involved, who you need to email, what the terms are. That's Newmarket Max. Now, Judge, you have a selection today. We need to say, people, the trial is still open. You were a bit unlucky yesterday, mate. Little profit on the day. You had Gulliver, didn't you, placed? And
Gulliver, I think, was very unlucky myself. I know it squeezed into the frames, but that and Count Dorsey, two big price. They both halved in price virtually, and they both placed. So, the two of them, it was a small winning day. But I do honestly think with a clear run, Gulliver would have been winning there.
But another example, folks, Judge gets these bets to you early, though. He's one of the great market predictors. You were on at big value prices and a little profit on the day. But it's a bet today. If you are involved, and many of you are, do get involved. It's the second link down. You can get win bet. Judge's selections be sent straight back to you till the end of September for just £10. Right, this is Judge's Jewels, where we look back and look forward at the same time, which is a pretty good trick to pull off. Yeah, so these are horses caught our eye. We think the whole premise of this is that there'll be value to win, or there's some little angle we've got. Now, I've got two. Do you want to go first with your first jewel, Judge?
I suppose I'm better, mate, as I've got three, so that way you can ease it up.
Yeah, you see, the maths expert in me.
I work my way down. I go for the obvious one. I mean, I personally did fancy Safe Voyage at Leopardstown on the Sunday. Is it the Sunday or the Saturday? Saturday, trying to remember what day it was. Yeah, that's right. Drawn 19. I think he was nearly last, turned into the home straight. It's got beat half a length. So I think anyone could have seen this. But this horse now, he's going to probably go up a couple of pounds for this run. But this is also the Group 2 horse just a year ago. So for me, this is really well handicapped. Loves soft ground. So now we get into the time of year. He's got form at York. I can imagine there'd be a race lined up either at York or even at the Newmarket meeting. You get the Cambridge and the Sarwich meeting. I'm trying to think. There's got to be a decent handicap in this. I don't think he's in the Cambridge here. I'm just going to double check. Mile 1 would definitely stretch him, but you put ideally 7 furlongs would be. Yeah, he's not got any entries. There's a good race for him at Donny, that November handicap meeting. That I think they could go there. You always get heavy ground there. It's got one. 07 is his trick, really, but you can get away with it with his handicap probably at a mile, as long as it's a sharp mile. But anyway, it was a massive eye catcher. Quinn's in great form this year, and especially last couple of weeks and couple of months even. So for me, first one in Safe Voyage is the safe conveyance. Yeah, safe. Now, I've got two from tomorrow. Neither was anywhere near winning, really, but I do think they were both eye catchers to me. Now, I spoke about my HFC bet yesterday was Trillium to beat Platinum Queen, which he did by the shortest of noses in what I think is red hot form, Judge. I think they are two, possibly Group 1 horses in a Group 2. I thought that the way they powered on, particularly Trillium, because Platinum Queen really got first run, and I love the way Trillium got rolling near the end. But they're the obvious ones. They're both going to win a hell of a lot of races next year. Sprints, the works. In third, a horse called Crispy Cat, who's a bit of money for Michael Callahan. Now, when this horse made his debut, he was regarded as though he could be like a Royal Ascot, you name it, the works. He was, the notes I've got is, I believe he was overrated. He gave, was it Blackbeard a good race early on in his career? He's ran quite a few times. Now, on the surface, you could say he's become disappointing, but I think he's gone to every big dance going. And I love the way that if you watch the race again, in the last furlong, they are really going at it. But they don't pull away from him. He starts to, he's beat really halfway, but he really starts to get his stride in that last furlong and a half. And I thought now this proves that this one will go on soft late season.
And I think there's a Group 2, definitely a Group 3. So my notes are a horse that was possibly overrated after his first couple of runs, I think now could be underrated and value, because people will look at the bare form and say he got stuffed yesterday. He did, but I think he got stuffed by 2 Group 1 performers. Yeah. And that was 2 Group 1 horses masquerading in a Group 2 race. And I think there's a late season island with soft ground aplenty, or he obviously likes coming over here.
You have the races at the Dewhurst meeting, don't you? You've got the
Dewhurst meeting. Yeah. You've got some listed races late season at Donny and at York. I think he would be probably favourite, but I think you could really have a serious bet on him, because I think I would even fancy him again in the standard Group 2. I think in defeat yesterday, my opinion of this horse went up. So Crispy Cat, for me, I think he's underrated. I think we're going to get a good price on him. Yeah. Hope they don't scratch him next time. But there you go. Thank you very much. I'm in a lot of pain, but it's as good as I can do. So Crispy Cat, for me, he's my eye catcher from yesterday. Got stuffed, but I think this is one cat we need to be with next time. Judge, we need your second one now, please.
Right, my second one, it ran in the... There we go. We ran yesterday. It ran in the 1 o'clock at Doncaster yesterday. Now, this horse is called Ratia, or Rati. I did fancy it earlier on in the year when it won at Newcastle. But it ran, for me, last year it ran the same race when it got beat by Abel Kane in this race last year on slightly better ground. Travelled really well yesterday, and basically the first 3 got first run on him before he could get out. And he ran very well, come fourth. He got a couple of lengths. Would have finished a lot closer if he'd have got out when he wanted to. This horse has got really good all-weather form as well. So I wonder if the fact it's in form now, obviously proves it handles soft ground, but I'd be keener on the all-weather. There must be a decent couple of handicaps coming up for this horse. Probably handicapped up to its best, but for me, it was a right eye catcher the way it travelled. And he travelled arguably as well as anything else in the race, and that was a good race. And he was actually on the wrong side of the track as well. If you look at the race, the first 3 were all over the far side. And this horse took off as I'll spit it out, coming inside the final furlong. And I like this horse. I think there's a win in this, especially soon. Ratia.
I think Rati, more than that. She often targets Newcastle, doesn't she? And I think that one where you need to stay at Newcastle, it's a tiring try. I think it'd be perfect for this one. You're right. There's some good handicaps in that. But there's going to be plenty of sprint handicaps on the turf that the first 4 or 5 in that could be classed as eye catchers. It was a good race. Just quickly mention the draw yesterday. Your first bet, which was the Rod Millman one.
Oh dear! Don't talk to me about it. What's he doing? It's a front runner. He's holding it up. Abel Kane.
Yeah,
I think. Toys out of the pram.
No, you can put a line through that. I think he had no chance from that draw, and I think they've just scratched that.
Yeah, possibly.
I would keep an eye on Abel Kane.
So
Yeah. But the drawn, and I tell you,
Goodwood was mustard, wasn't it?
And then that Appleby horse, Wanda Pins, who started high kicking at the start of the race. Rarely see a horse like rodeo riding for, and I mean that'd exhaust any horse, and he obviously lost ground, but he actually stayed on all right, and he was drawn right next to you, and I think you were both dead in the water at the draw. So I would certainly look at those Doncaster races for the horses that were drawn far side near the far rail. I think they had a huge advantage yesterday.
We'll come to the next one as well, because I'm going to quickly mention something in that. You're spot on. In the Portland, you wanted to be drawn low, didn't you? So anything drawn in double figures and above, especially in that, in the other. Anybody who's bet things that were badly drawn yesterday, it's one of them things that the sprint handicaps. Example, he was drawn 20 something at York, looked like run terrible, and then obviously yesterday come third. He was well drawn, and it's in a race he's done well at.
If David Allen had got stuck into him early, I think he may well have won.
I kind of wonder. I think the winner was very good.
So we'll go to my second and final eye catcher now. Still at Donny, the Mallard Class 2, always a good race. was won impressively by Going Gone, who had a real ding-dong battle with HMS President. Both horses proven on that ground, proven winners. I think Jim Boyle's got a very good horse on his hands in Going Gone. However, you know, you can pick them yourselves. You may think that the third, beaten nearly 4 lengths, trained by Alan King, ridden by Holly Doyle, disappointed, but I'm not sure it did. And I think this Inchicore is one to get on late season. He was held up, not being critical, but he was given a lot to do. And then he seemed to get where I thought, my God, he's going to even get pulled up. She had to really get stuck into him a long way out. And he was never going to get to the front two. They'd gone. But I love the way he travelled late on. And you look at him, his huge round action. He had 10 stone here yesterday. I think as a late season, I would even think on heavy ground, he could come back in trip. So anyway, yeah, I've got, well, quite, but I've got here from 1 mile 4 to 2 miles. I am seriously interested late season. Race courses that get very soft, like Haydock, like Ascot. This horse is going to absolutely eat up a late season race, I'm convinced. So he did get well beat. Had she been nearer and not really exaggeratedly held him up, he probably could have given him a bit of a race. But the conditions were much too fast yesterday for this horse to prove his best. Obviously, he's by Inchinor with that name. I think he'll want it. If you get a race that a meeting that's about to get called off and they decide to run and you see him running, that's the day to get the old betting boots on. So I think there's going to be plenty of heavy ground around for this one. I think Inchicore is a winner waiting to happen in autumn. He would be my second. Yeah, and the other thing is, you wanted to be up that far rail, didn't you? I know yours won the St Ledger, but they were all dying to get up the rail. And that's what happened in the Doncaster Cup, wasn't it? Truesham was down the middle, one up the rail just out. It might have been that faster strip up there. And if you hold one up, you ain't going to be able to get that rail because they're all on it. Like you said, I think it was slightly accentuated the fact he got beat further than he really would have done. It's a bit of a quirky old boy, but I think, I say old boy, he's 5. Yeah, he's a bit quirky, but he's a sort of horse you wouldn't want to take a short price about, but you'd want to sort of go each way at a decent price. So I like the horse, and he definitely wants soft ground, just spot on. Yeah. So he wants it softer than yesterday. Yes, that's right. So we get on to my final one? I think so, mate, unless you want to do a song or something. I shan't do that, don't worry. Obviously, you know what, I love a sprint. There's nothing better than I love a sprint. But for me yesterday, I thought the winner of the Portland was very impressive because it's drawn 14, hung across the track, nearly cleaned up nearly everything else. And I think despite the draw, it won. So the fact it probably go up 6 or 7, I think the winner is a very good horse. I think it's related to Oxted. I don't know if it's half brother or full brother to Oxted. I'm just bringing the race back up. Yeah, Chipstead. Yeah, he looks as like he could be a group sprinter, doesn't he? Oh, definitely. I know he won off a mark of 92 yesterday, but I'd be amazed if this isn't a group horse. I agree. It's progressing really rapidly, and I didn't fancy him yesterday. He really took me breath away. I thought he's a very impressive winner myself. Of a good race like that, because it's a really good handicap. But if you look who cut, you've got the next lot of 3, 5, and 6 with the next 3 drawn. And then Motogally run a nice race. But for me, I was going to mention he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he run a nice race. But for me, the horse to take from it is the David Amara 4th. It had a good draw, admittedly, Nomadic Empire. Now, I think Neil Callan, once again, had a bit of a rush of blood there. He really sort of like went for it between the 2 and the 1 pole. And this is a sort of horse for me that's got to be ridden like a non-trier. Not that I'd advertise it, but it's sort of got to be produced near the finish. He virtually come through to lead a furlong out. And it's kind of almost, he lost 2 places near the finish. But very well handicapped now as well, Nomadic Empire. That was 4th off a mark of 93. This horse has been running off marks in the hundreds. And even like last year, it won off 93 and 99 last year at York. It won off 99. So we know this horse can win. We know, like David Amara loves these big field handicaps. I can't help thinking there's a Saturday handicap lined up for him, possibly back at York where he's won. Yeah. But for me, he proved he handles the soft ground. But it will be a case of the draw basis. But I like the fact this horse now has got a visor on and he's improved in his last 3 starts.
much more like it. So for me, my final one will be Nomadic Empire.
Could be one for the October end of season meeting.
Yeah, I kind of got one lined up for that. I think it's quite obvious which one I've got lined up for that. I mean, Gulliver for me. Yeah. I mean, yes. Because funny enough, Gulliver and Laugh a Minute both ran in that racing at the Curragh last time out, last year. Laugh a Minute started favourite for the York race, and came second. And it's the only year Gulliver's run terrible. He won the previous 2 renewals of that race. So it'd be interesting there. Obviously, we've got a massive weekend ahead with the Air Gold Cup, Silver Cup and Bronze Cup. Yeah. And then might be a Tin Cup as well later on. So it's
Egg Cup.
Egg Cup, yeah. I mean, I love them races. And so I've pretty much got a good handle on that race already. So... which I won't say too much about because
I'm sure, Judge's Private Service will be featuring heavily at Air next Saturday. And we will have a look at some races on Friday night, but we'll be back before that. But thank you, Judge. And I got a big win bet today, so people can get it by taking the trial. Excellent. And I got Newmarket Max, so I'll explain on the description underneath exactly what you need to do to get on that. So it's going to be another exciting day. Well done over the weekend. Give us a thumbs up. It's good to get another classic winner in the bag. So keep it here. We'll be back next Monday with some more Judges Jewels. Make a note of these. Get them in your free trackers. And I'm sure, given our recent record, you will make profits from them. So, Judge, I'll see you very soon, mate. Good luck tonight.
All the best, mate. You too.
Cheers.